Hi students. So in this video we are going to start a new topic, that is hyperbolic functions related to trigonometry part. So in trigonometry part, we are going to discuss about hyperbolic functions. So basically, if you consider equation of hyperbola, x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. This is equation of hyperbola, standard equation of hyperbola. So for this equation, a into e power theta plus e power minus theta by 2 and b e power theta minus e power minus theta by 2. So this point is always going to satisfy this hyperbola. So keeping this in view, we are going to define hyperbolic functions. So we will define this as cos hyperbolic function, and we will define this as sine hyperbolic function. So cos hyperbolic function we will denote like this: cos h theta. Sine hyperbolic function we will denote as sine h theta. Now this point is always going to satisfy this hyperbola. So hence we are going to define cos hyperbolic function, sine hyperbolic function, and this is the base for defining the hyperbolic functions. Now let us define the hyperbolic functions related to trigonometry part. So if we take a function f such that f maps R to R, a function f such that f maps R to R and f of x is equal to sine hx, which is actually e power x minus e power minus x by 2. So this f of x, which is e power x plus e power minus x by 2, this is actually defined as hyperbolic sine function. So it is called as hyperbolic sine function, or simply sine hx is the symbol we use. So hyperbolic sine function we can call this, which is denoted by sine hx. This h represents hyperbolic function and x is the variable which we are using here. H represents hyperbolic function. Only x is the variable here, not hx is not the angle. Okay, so x is the angle, or x is the some real number actually. X is some real number which we use here, and h represents the hyperbolic function symbol. And similarly, f maps R to R and f of x is equal to e power x plus e power minus x by 2. This is called as hyperbolic. This is called as hyperbolic cosine function. This is called as hyperbolic cosine function, which we can actually denote with cos hx symbol. So cos hx means h represents hyperbolic function and x is the variable which we use here. X is any real number. Okay, so this is the basic formula for sine hx and cos hx. Sine hyperbolic and cos hyperbolic function. These are the basic formulas or basic notations which we have to use. Now once we know sine and cos, we can write other hyperbolic functions also. So tan hx, we can write tan hx as sine hx by cos hx. So this is hyperbolic tan function. Sine hx, cos hx, already we have written the formulas here. So when we substitute sine hx and cos hx formulas here, we will get e power x minus e power minus x by e power x plus e power minus x. This is the formula for tan hx, hyperbolic tan function. Next, similarly, we can write cot hx as cos hx by sin hx, which is actually, cot hx is actually reciprocal of tan hx. You can clearly see cot hx is reciprocal of tan hx. So what is the reciprocal of tan hx? E power x plus e power minus x by e power x minus e power minus x. So that is the formula for cot hx. Similarly, we will write secant hx and cosecant hx. So we know that secant hx is reciprocal of cos hx. So cos hx, we have written the formula here, reciprocal of that. Means 2 by e power x plus e power minus x. Now cosecant hx. Cosecant hx is actually reciprocal of sin hx. Sin hx formula we have written here. So therefore reciprocal of sin hx means it is going to be 2 by e power x minus e power minus x. So these are the basic formulas for hyperbolic trigonometric functions. All 6 trigonometric functions are hyperbolic trigonometric functions. So formulas we have written here. Now let us see the identities related to these hyperbolic functions. The identities or the basic formulas or the identities which we have learned in trigonometric functions are not going to be same in hyperbolic functions. There is a slight variation in some formulas, only some are same or identical when compared to formulas we learned in trigonometric functions. Okay, so we will discuss the formulas or basic formulas and identities now. So in hyperbolic functions, we are going to discuss the identities. We know that in trigonometry or trigonometric functions, cos squared theta plus sin squared theta is 1. But in hyperbolic functions, cos h square x minus sin h square x is equal to 1. You can observe the formula clearly, it is different. So in trigonometric functions, cos squared theta plus sin squared theta is 1. That is the basic identity. But here, cos h square minus sin h square x is equal to 1. Let us prove this. So take the LHS. So we have discussed formulas for cos hx and sin hx. Cos hx formula is e power x plus e power minus x by 2. This is cos hx. Cos h square x means whole square. Cos h square x means it is same as cos hx whole square. Okay, cos h square x is actually same as cos hx whole square. So therefore I wrote cos hx formula and whole square for that. Okay, so next minus sin h square x, that means sin hx whole square. So sin hx e power x minus e power minus x by 2 whole square. So I can write this as e power x plus e power minus x whole square. Now the denominator is same. So I am combining the numerators. Denominator is same. So common denominator 4. Denominator 2 square. 2 square common. Now this is a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square model. a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square means we will get 4ab. Okay, so a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square 4ab. That means 4 e power x into e power minus x by 4. 4 cancel. So e power x into e power minus x, bases are same. Adding the powers, e power x minus x. So e power 0, that means 1. So this is the proof of the first identity. Cos h square x minus sin h square x is equal to 1. Similarly, second identity. Secant h square x plus tan h square x is equal to 1. So usually in trigonometry, what is the identity? Secant square theta minus tan square theta is 1. But here the identity is different. Sign is different in between. Secant h square x plus tan h square x is equal to 1. That is the identity. So this is the second identity. Proof is same as the first one. Okay, so proof is exactly same as the first one. The third identity. So third identity is cot h square x minus cosecant h square x is equal to 1. Cot h square x minus cosecant h square x is equal to 1. This is also different in trigonometry. Identity of this model is cosecant square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1 in trigonometry. But it is different. So all three identities are different when compared to identities of trigonometric functions. So there will be slight variation in the formulas when compared with trigonometric functions and hyperbolic functions. There will be slight variation. Okay. So these are the basic identities. Using these identities, we can actually derive some more conditions like cos h square x will be 1 plus sin h square x. Secant h square x is 1 minus tan h square x. So different conditions we can derive like that from these identities. Let us derive this formula now. So this is similar to sin a plus b compound angle formula in trigonometric functions. Sin of a plus b. Like that only sin h of x plus y. Similar to that one, sin hx cos hy plus cos hx sin hy. Like sin a plus b, sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. It is similar to that one. So let us derive this one. So I am taking RHS. Sin hx. So e power x minus e power minus x by 2. Next cos hy. Cos hx we know. E power x plus e power minus x by 2. Cos hy means you replace x with y. So cos hy means e power y plus e power minus y by 2. Cos hx e power x plus e power minus x by 2. This is cos hx. Cos hy means in place of x we will write y, that's all. Sin hy, so already you can see sin hx here. So sin hy means just in place of x write y. What you will get? Sin hy as e power y minus e power minus y by 2. Denominator, first term 4, second term is also 4, denominator is same. So denominator 4, so 1 by 4 I am keeping aside. Now multiply the numerator part. So e power x into e power y, so e power x plus y. E power x into e power minus y, so e power x minus y. Now this one is minus e power minus x plus y. On this one minus e power minus x multiplied with e power minus y. So minus e power minus x minus y. Now multiply the numerator parts of these two. So we will get e power x into e power y. So e power x plus y. Bases are same. I am adding the powers. Now product of these two, minus e power x minus y. Okay. Next product of these two, plus e power minus x plus y. Product of these two, minus e power minus x minus y. So now you can see that I can cancel out these two terms and I can cancel out these two terms. What is left now? So it is 1 by 4. E power x plus y is occurring twice. So 2 times e power x plus y, and even this term is occurring twice. So minus 2 times e power minus x minus y. I will multiply with 1 by 4. Okay, so I can write like this. Multiply with 1 by 4 means e power x plus y minus e power minus x minus y means take minus common. When you are multiplying with 1 by 4, denominator 2 is left. This is similar to e power x minus e power x by 2. Whatever we got here is similar to this one. And this is the formula of sin hx we know. So whatever value we got is similar to sin hx formula, but in place of x we have x plus y. In place of x we have x plus y. Formula is similar to this one. Okay, so in place of x we have x plus y means it is sin hx plus y, which is equal to LHS. Okay, so sin h of x plus y, this is the formula. So derivation we have done. So similar to this one, I will write some more formulas. So the proof part of this formula is completed. So similarly, let us write some more formulas now. Right, now similar to this one, we have some more formulas like sin h of x minus y. So this is sin hx cos hy minus cos hx sin hy. So this formula is obtained just by replacing y with minus y, that is in place of y, if you write minus y, you are going to this get formula. Next, third one, it is cos h of x plus y. This is cos hx cos hy plus sin hx sin hy. Now this is like cos a plus b formula of trigonometric functions. Cos of a plus b is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Here we are not getting minus in between. It is like cos of a plus b, but there is a difference. Cos of a plus b means minus 1 will come here, minus will come here, but you have plus here. So cos h of x plus y, you are getting plus in between the terms only. So cos h of x minus y. So this is cos hx cos hy minus sin hx sin hy. So these are the basic formulas related to sine and cos hyperbolic functions. Now using these formulas, like we have multiple and submultiple angle formulas in trigonometric functions, so here also let us derive formulas similar to that model. So in the first formula here, I will replace y with x. In the first formula, if we are replacing y with x, so sin h of x plus h, x plus x, what you will get? Sin hx cos hx. Just in place of y, you replace with x, that's all. Wherever you find y, write x in place of that. So sin hx cos hx, this is also sin hx cos hx only. So we can write this as 2 sin hx cos hx. So sin h of x plus x, that means sin h of 2x. This is the formula for sin h of 2x. It is similar to sin 2 theta formula which we have in trigonometric functions. It is similar. See, sin 2 theta, 2 sin theta cos theta, it is similar to that. Next, now I will take, or I will replace y with x in this third formula. Replacing y with x, then what I will get is cos h of x plus x, replacing y with x. So cos hx plus sin hx. If we replace y with x in this third formula, we will get like this. So therefore, the basic formula of cos h of 2x, basic formula is cos h square x minus sin h square x. So in all the formulas are applicable wherever the functions are defined. So I'm not writing all those things. Okay, the formulas are defined wherever the functions are defined. So this is the basic formula for sin h of 2x. This is basic formula for cos h of 2x. Now, if I use identities here, we know that cos h square x minus sin h square x. Okay, just a minute, it is plus not minus. Cos h square x plus sin h square x, that is. Okay, so we know that cos h square x minus sin h square x is equal to 1. This is the identity we know in hyperbolic functions. Let us use that. So cos h square x can be written as 1 plus sin h square x. Cos h square x can be written as 1 plus sin h square x. Therefore, this formula can also be written like this. So if you replace cos h square x with 1 plus sin h square x, we will get like this. Now, what is sin h square x from this formula? Sin h square x becomes cos h square x minus 1. So in place of sin h square x, using this formula, if we write cos h square x minus 1, we will get the formula like this, 2 cos h square x minus 1. So cos h to x, basic formula is this one. When you use identity, you can express the formula like this in terms of sin hx or like this in terms of cos hx. So sin h to x, cos h to x, both the formulas we got here. Okay. Now, if you want these formulas in terms of tan hx, that also I will try to show you. If you want the formulas in terms of tan hx, just observe here. So this formula, just try to divide and multiply by cos hx. Okay. So I'll just take out this formula and try to derive here. So 2 sine hx cos hx divide and multiply by cos hx. So divide by cos hx, multiply by cos hx. So 2 sin hx by cos hx means tan hx, and cos hx into cos hx means cos h square x. Next 2 tan hx cos h square x can be written as 1 by secant h square x. So cos h square x can be written as 1 by secant h square x. And using identity, we know that, what is the identity? In hyperbolic functions, secant h square x plus tan h square x is equal to 1. This is the identity. In hyperbolic functions, using this identity, secant h square x becomes 1 minus tan h square x. Just using the identity. Okay, so I can write this as 2 tan hx by secant h square x using identity 1 minus tan h square x. So sin h2x in terms of tan hx you can write like this. This is the basic formula. This is the formula in terms of tan. Similarly, for cos h2x also, we can write in terms of tan. So cos h2x formula in terms of tan. Cos h2x formula in terms of tan, it is 1 plus tan h square x by 1 minus tan h square x. So this is cos h2x formula in terms of tan. Now let us discuss the same formulas for tan h of x plus y, cot h of x plus y. So this is formula for tan h of x plus y. So like we have tan of a plus b formula in trigonometric functions, but the formula is not exactly same, because tan of a plus b means tan a plus tan b by 1 minus tan a tan b will come. But here plus, here also plus is there. For tan of a plus b, here minus should come actually in trigonometric function. That is different. Okay. So similarly, tan h of x minus y, that is in the first formula when you replace y with minus y. In the first formula, when you replace y with minus y, we will get the formula like this: tan hx minus tan hy by 1 minus tan hx into tan hy. So now using the first formula, that is using this first formula, if I replace y with x, so if I replace y with x, we will get tan h of x plus x is equal to, numerator will be tan hx plus tan hx, denominator will be 1 plus tan hx into tan hx. So therefore, you will get this as tan h of 2x. Numerator is 2 tan hx. Denominator is 1 plus tan h square x. So this is the basic formula for tan h of 2x. So we discussed the sin h2x, cos h2x. Now we have discussed tan h2x also. Now cot h of x plus y. Cot h of x plus y. So this is cot hx, cot hy plus 1 by cot hx, plus cot hy. Okay, so cot h of x plus y, you can observe that both numerator denominator you have plus itself in between the terms. And now when we replace y with minus y, when we replace y with minus y, cot h of x minus y, this will be cot hx cot hy minus 1 by cot hy minus cot hx. The order is different in the denominator. You can see cot h of x minus y means denominator cot hy minus cot hx will come. Okay, so this is the value of cot h of x minus y. Now same as this derivation, when you replace y with x in this formula, when you replace y with x, you are going to get cot h to x. So when you replace y with x, what you will get? Cot h square x plus 1 by 2 cot hx. So this is the formula of cot h to x. So cot h to x we have discussed, cot h of x plus y also we have discussed. So these are the basic formulas which we have to use while solving the problems. Okay. Now let us see the domain and range of hyperbolic functions. So I'll discuss one by one. First of all, what is domain? So if I take f of x is equal to sin hx, that is e power x minus e power minus x by 2. When I take f of x like this, domain is set of all x values or collection of all x values such that the function is defined. Collection of all those x values for which the function is defined is nothing but domain of the function. And what is range? Range is always the collection of all output values of f of x. That means when we are taking some x value and substituting in the function, you will definitely get some output value, no? So collection of all those output values of f of x is nothing but range. So domain is collection of all x values for which the function is defined. Range is collection of all function values or collection of all f of x values such that the function is defined. Okay, that is the basic difference between domain and range. Now, when I am taking the sin hx value, domain means collection of x values such that this function is defined. So we can clearly see that this function has no problem with any x value. So whatever x value you take here, the function is always defined. That means f of x is defined for every real value of x. That means x can be any real number. X can be any real number. Collection of all x values is nothing but real number set. That is nothing but domain. X can be any real number. Now coming to range of the function. So range means f of x values, no? Output values. Here you can clearly see that, for example, if I take x as 1, this is clearly a positive value. If you take x as minus 1 here, you will get like this, which is clearly a negative value. That means the output values which f of x gives can be a positive number, can be a negative number, and can be 0 also. Because when x is taken as 0, f of x output is 0 only. Like that, we can see that f of x output values have positive values, negative values, 0, everything is there. So therefore, the set of all function values or f of x values means it has everything. It has positive, it has negative, it has 0, it has everything. Therefore, the range is going to be R. For sin hx, domain is R, range is also R. Now let us discuss for cos hx. So for cos hx, which is e power x plus e power minus x by 2, domain means you can actually have any value in place of x. For any real value in place of x, function is defined. Means x can be anything. So therefore domain is R. Now when we come to output of f of x values, so this is actually e power x plus e power minus x means 1 by e power x by 2. Now numerator is clearly x plus 1 by x model. Numerator is a number plus its reciprocal model, and we know that x plus 1 by x is always greater than or equal to 2, provided x is positive. In place of x, we have e power x. E power x is definitely not going to be negative because it is exponential function. So therefore, x plus 1 by x model we have in the numerator, which is always greater than or equal to 2. And when numerator is greater than or equal to 2, when we have by 2 in the denominator, that is nothing but greater than or equal to 1. That means f of x is always greater than or equal to 1. Function values, f of x values only will constitute range. So f of x is greater than or equal to 1 or more than that. Therefore, the range will be 1 to infinity, 1 or more than 1. That is the interval for f of x. Because the output values or function values collection is nothing but range. So this is the description of domain and range for cos hx. And now when we come to tan hx, we know that tan hx is sin hx by cos hx. So therefore, tan hx formula stands as e power x minus e power minus x by e power x plus e power minus x. This is the value of tan hx, and clearly here we can observe that the function is defined for everything, that is any x value, because the denominator also is not going to be 0 for any x value. For any x value, denominator also is not going to be 0. That means there is no problem for the function to be defined. For any x value, this is defined. So domain of tan hx is R. And coming to range, we can observe that here it is e power x minus 1 by e power x by e power x plus 1 by e power x. So clearly we can observe that numerator is always going to be less than denominator. When numerator is always less than denominator, the function value cannot exceed 1. Numerator is more than denominator, less than denominator. So definitely this value will be less than 1 only. Like if you have 2 in numerator, 5 in denominator, numerator is less than denominator, it is definitely going to be less than 1 only, no? And if it is negative, for example, it is going to be more than minus 1. That means since numerator is always less than denominator, f of x values or function values always fluctuate between minus 1 and 1. The function value cannot be more than 1, that is, it will be definitely less than 1, and the function value cannot be less than minus 1 also. That means the function values will fluctuate between minus 1 and 1. And f of x exactly 1 also not possible, because numerator can never be equal to denominator. Okay, numerator can never be equal to denominator. I will show you. Numerator is equal to denominator. For example, if I take like this, e power x cancel. So 0 is equal to 1 by e power x plus 1 by e power x. 0 is equal to 2 by e power x. Okay, that means 0 is equal to 1 by e power x should come like this. How is it possible? 1 by e power x cannot be 0. Cross multiply, you will get 1 is equal to 0. Impossible. Numerator equal to denominator is also not possible. Therefore, the function values will fluctuate between minus 1 and 1. Exactly 1 will not come, exactly minus 1 will not come. Therefore, this is going to be the range of tan hx. Now, when we come to reciprocals of these functions, we can easily understand the domain range. First of all, tan hx minus 1 to 1. Cot hx is reciprocal. Reciprocal of cot hx means the function values for cot hx will not lie in this interval, because I'll show, just observe here. Cot hx is reciprocal of tan hx, no? That means e power x plus e power minus x by e power x minus e power minus x. That means e power x plus 1 by e power x by e power x minus 1 by e power x. So clearly you can observe that numerator is always more than denominator here. That means the function value will be more than 1. And if denominator is negative, the function value is going to be less than minus 1. Exactly reciprocal of tan hx means, reciprocal of tan hx means the values will not lie in this interval. Okay, that means cos hx will be either more than 1 or less than minus 1. That is what we have taken here. You can clearly observe numerator is more than denominator. And when we come to secant hx, see, cos hx range is 1 to infinity. Reciprocal of cos hx is secant hx. So secant hx means definitely it will not lie between 1 to infinity, no? Okay, that means secant hx is reciprocal of cos hx. 2 by e power x plus e power minus x. This denominator is always greater than or equal to 1, we know. Denominator is like that, greater than or equal to, okay, greater than or equal to 2, sorry, not 1. We know this property. So therefore, this is going to be 1 by greater than or equal to 1 will come in the denominator. So if to shift it onto numerator, it is going to be less than or equal to 1. That is what we wrote here. And this is never going to be negative. Of course, it is less than or equal to 1, but it is never going to be negative. So less than or equal to 1, but you should stop at 0 because it is not going to be negative. So 0 to 1 is the range of secant hx. Now coming to cosecant hx, which is reciprocal of sin hx. So when we discuss about cosecant hx, which is reciprocal of sin hx, and you can clearly see that this denominator, it can be negative, it can be positive, it can be 0 also. Denominator. Of course, when denominator is 0, function is not defined, I will take out that. So denominator can be negative, denominator can be positive. So denominator is negative means total f of x becomes negative. Denominator is positive means total f of x becomes positive. That means f of x can be positive, f of x can be negative, anything is done, anything is okay. But f of x cannot be 0. For whatever x value you take here, f of x is not going to be 0. So except 0, f of x can give you anything. It can give you positive, it can give you negative numbers. But it cannot give you 0. So therefore cosecant hx range is all real numbers excepting 0. Okay. So this is a discussion of domain and range of hyperbolic functions. Okay, now we will proceed to further standard formulas.